Okay, welcome aboard. Gonna try to build another little enhancement for my Excalibur scroll saw, and nothing really major. Doesn't have to be done, but I thought it might be something interesting to try. If you're sawing with your scroll saw, of course, you know you have to every so often lift up this arm to put the blades inside. Now you could tighten up the little nut on the side there to make this thing stay up. I haven't done it in a while, so it's still quite loose. But you do have to adjust it every so often to get the thing to go up. And it's always hard because sometimes it's too tight, sometimes it's too loose. And this thing is harder to push up on certain occasions. Sometimes it gets very loose. But I was wondering if maybe it's possible to build some kind of a foot lever system, some kind of a lever that will sit underneath the arm here, so that when I press down with my foot, it raises it up and holds it there while I make changes and whatever. And when I release the lever, it just drops back into place. And I think gravity will take care of it dropping down if I loosen that bolt up enough, so that it should work pretty easily. So we're going to try to experiment with this and see what we can come up with using a couple of 2x4s and some other devices. So stay tuned, and maybe you might like to try it yourself if it works. I sort of made the plans for this on the fly here. Most of the material that I use is scrap wood, and I just sort of threw it together to see how it would fit. After I've completed, of course, I found that some of my dimensions weren't exactly perfect. So, for example, on the collar, I had to use a little shim there to hold it up. But what I did was I remeasured it, and I put them all in this little set of plans here. And if you look down below the video here, you'll see a little link to this plan, which you can download in a PDF format. Don't expect anything really great on this. Even the line in the center of the collar is not exactly in the center. Probably should be. And the bolt, the eye bolt that you put in, probably could be done on the center also, which I didn't do. But these are things you can, learn to understand what they are just by studying the plan and taking a look at the video that's about to come up here. Okay, I've been working on this little project I explained at the beginning, and I think I've got it working pretty good right now. Not everybody's going to be able to use this system, of course, because of the way I've got it hooked up, but you might be able to rig up another method, or possibly even rig up the system as well. Here you see the bracket that I built. It's got a bracket that I made out of a 2x4. Just simply cut the hole out of the middle with my scroll saw. Actually, what I did was I sliced it down the middle and then cut those two pieces out to the width of the arm there, and then put it back together again after I put it on and bolted it with these carriage bolts on the side. I put an eye bolt. I don't have it in the center exactly, but you could probably put it in the center, which would make more sense. But I was experimenting here. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to end up with. And of course the wire runs up here in my case to the ceiling, where I have attached a pulley, and it comes down the other end all the way down behind the saw so that it doesn't interfere with any work you're doing at the table, and attaches to another eye bolt on the lever system that I built on the floor. Now, the lever system is nothing more than just a 2x4 with a long 2.5-inch board. I used a hinge on the back to hold it in place, and up toward the front I put two boards on the side to make a track, so that when you press down on the pedal, which is this main piece here, when you press down on that, it won't go flopping off to the sides. And I've also used an adhesive to stick the whole thing right to the floor. Well, you could have just as easily bolted it, I suppose. And of course the eye bolt where that cable is connected is at the very bottom. This is looking at the hookup from behind. You'll notice I made the little hole for the arm a little too long, so I put a wedge in there for now. It seems to be holding pretty good, but the dimensions I've given you on the paper are a little closer to what you're probably going to need for the arm to fit snugly around the collar to fit snugly around the arm. And then of course down below from behind here you can see a little better where that track is set up with the eye bolt in the pedal. The pedal is rather long, but it's good. It allows you to go from the very front of the saw to the back. This is the adjustment bolt on the back of the Excalibur scroll saw. If you turn that to the left, it will loosen the arm up, and to use the lift system that I've got here, you probably should do that so that the arm is really quite free to move up and down. Otherwise it could be a bit of a struggle on your cable. Okay, where this lever system is going to come in handy is when you have to do a lot of fret work, particularly because you got to keep moving this arm up and down, and your arm can get pretty tired doing it, but now you can use your foot to do it instead, and it makes it really very easy. So let's take a look at this thing, see how it works. Bring our arm up, get it out of the way. Don't have to worry about whether it's staying in position or not, because as long as you got your foot on that pedal, it's going to stay there. You drop it down, put your blade on, tighten down the tension, you're all set to go. Okay, if you got another piece that you got to do, just loosen up your blade, step on the pedal, put your threading through just as you would before. Now you don't have to worry about it being in the way. Drop it down, slide that on, and once again, you're ready to go. This, of course, is just a demonstration blank. I'm not really doing anything worthwhile, but you can see how this could speed up your work in terms of any fret work that you might have to do. Just by simply pressing your foot down, raises the arm up for you. Save yourself some strength in your arms. If you have difficulty with your hands too, it might be quite beneficial as well. Okay, as I mentioned before, below on the this video, if you take a look down there, you'll find a link to the plans to build the different parts. Now, of course, if you are in a different situation than I am, your table is different, for example, or your ceiling is not the same, you're going to have to make modifications to adjust for that. But if they are similar, then mainly what you'd probably have to do is adjust the lengths of the different pieces of wood that you're going to use. All of this is built from common items that you probably have around your shop already. Give it a try if you can, and I think you'll find it quite useful. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did like it, be sure to click the like button down below and subscribe to my channel to see any future videos I might be putting out. Happy cutting!